So, welcome to the third episode of the second season of Tatau. So, welcome, guys.
Oh,
this is the start.
Oh, this is the start?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. Okay, shit.
How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
How did your day start? You had an okay day?
Yeah, it's been a busy one.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Been tattooing today?
No, I've actually been taking a bit of a break the past couple of weeks, but I'm part of an art collective and we're checking out our expedition space.
Yeah.
And then I was also stopping by Dalmatia and talking to Lisa about my new residency there, because I'll be starting there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you did a guest spot, right?
Yeah, for October I was guesting there.
Yeah.
Like every Monday and Wednesday. And that went pretty good. And it was just going to be for October because I was planning on moving to Berlin, but now I'm sticking around, so Dalmatia is keeping me.
Great.
Nice.
And how about you? How was your day starting today?
Chill.
Yeah?
I went to therapy and then I did some shit for school, so quite a chill day.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Starting
Nice
off
and
with
easy.
therapy, amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Me too. When I start off therapy, I'm like, I don't know how to say this, but I'm like pretty zoned out for the day.
Yeah.
It depends on what type of therapy you get, of course, but I don't know. I can leave my shit there. you know?
I feel much lighter.
Lighter, yeah.
It's
that's what I mean.
amazing. I was like, let's go. I'm ready for today.
Yeah.
I just got everything out of my system
Great.
and now I'm all good.
Great,
Yeah.
great. So when will you be tattooing? You will be having a break now?
Yeah. So I haven't tattooed since I think like right before Halloween. I was supposed to be tattooing at the Halloween Flash Day, but I fell sick. And so I haven't worked since then, but I think like a week or two I'll be back at it.
Okay.
Or I might even actually just wait until the 11th and 12th of November, because I'll be tattooing at the Velde Winter Market.
Oh, cool.
And so I'll have a stand there and also be selling like stickers and prints, and I'll probably have some paintings and make some clothes, and I'll be like tattooing Flash.
Great.
Cool.
So I think I'll be quite busy preparing all of that until then.
Okay.
So yeah, I might just torture my clients a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, I'll take some rest as well, right? Don't overwork.
I think it's really necessary.
Yeah.
Tattooing is a lot of work. I don't think people realize that.
Yeah, it's not just the tattoo, right? It's also the drawings and the
I mean, there's
communication with the clients and stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of prep time. I think it's one of those jobs where, you know, if you work in Horeca, like it's a fucking pain in the ass. Like, not many people really love working in Horeca, but the beauty of Horeca is like you go there, you have this crazy day, you're super busy, you work really hard, but you leave there and your job's over.
Yeah, and you're drunk.
You go home. Yeah, you drink. You end the day. You have your fucking pokebiertje.
Yeah.
And then you're fucking done.
Yeah.
Like, you leave there and you don't have to fucking worry about your work anymore. But with tattooing, it's like there's this whole prep time to it as well. You have to like do all the drawing in advance. You have to do a lot of setup in advance. And then you have to be incredibly present. Because it's not like you're just doing art. You're also being like a bit of an entertainer. And you're also being...
like a shrink.
You're also being a fucking shrink, you know? These people come to you. Like, what mentally sane person is like fully inked, you know?
Yeah.
Not many.
No.
Kudos to them, but not many.
And when will you be starting tattooing again?
I think like mid-December.
Okay.
Because I'm a move houses. So that's exciting, but I'm gonna be so fucking busy with that.
Yeah.
So I'm taking like a 3-week break from now on.
Okay.
So I can get everything done, set everything up at my new place, and then I'll start again.
Cool.
But yeah, this little break is quite nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, because also I still tattoo from home myself, so I do all the communication with clients on my own through social media, and exactly like the drawing and the setup is a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
You do live in Rotterdam?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
But you're just gonna move within Rotterdam, but in a different area?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which area are you going to?
Well, actually, almost the same, because now I live in Blijdorp, and I'm gonna move like right behind Central Station. So like, it's not that far, but much better place. I'm really excited.
Yeah. How is it when you tattoo from home? Because you the clients that come to you come in your personal space as well.
Yeah.
How do you try to segregate that so you have like a working space and also your own private space?
Yeah, so right now at my place I have this little corner in the living room with all my stuff, but at my new place I'm gonna have like a designated corner for my tattoo shit.
Oh, nice.
Because I do realize like the separation between like personal and tattoo can be quite blurred sometimes, so I try to keep that like physically in my space. I try to have like a good border for that.
I can imagine that if you're tattooing someone and he or she brings a friend and he's lying on your couch eating chips, watching the TV or stuff. Does that happen or not?
Sometimes people ask me to bring friends, and I'm like, sometimes it's okay if I know them, but also with some people I'm like, yeah, my space at this point is like really small, so the person would have to sit like a few meters. They don't even know what's going on. They just sitting there on their phone, so it's also not fun for the friend that somebody's gonna bring. But hopefully in my new place I'll have some more space for people to bring friends, because I do really like it when people bring friends.
It is really nice.
Yeah, you like it as well?
Yeah, I mean, up until recently I've also just been working from home primarily.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I was going to Berlin for guest spots that I worked in a shop for the first time. So home tattooing has always been like my personal playground, so to say, or like my comfort zone. And it can be really uncomfortable at times if you have like an awkward client or something, but then it really is just like an in and out job. But the beauty of home tattooing is, since you're in this like intimate space, like since you're like inviting someone into your home, it can be really fucking beautiful. Yeah. And also like if they bring friends, like I've had like quite often like a client brings like one friend or something just for like comfort, or I have a lot of clients that like visit from other parts of Holland, so they're like traveling here like 5 hours or something, so of course they're gonna want to bring with a homie, because that's fucking boring riding the train all the time without anyone,
of course.
But it really allows for like quite an intimate setting, and you make friends with your clients as well. And I have a lot of clients that also prefer that I worked from home. Okay. And some clients that are kind of bummed that I'm going to be working in a shop now, because since it's a home environment, you have complete control over the environment. You can like sit together. I can make them a tea. Sometimes we'll have a snack, we'll have a chat. Or like I do the designs with my clients as well. Like most of the time, my tattoos are freehand. So it becomes a really intimate experience. And I think that's really important as well, because tattoos, it fucking stays on you for the rest of your life. And it doesn't matter how good the tattoo is. If your tattooer was a fucking asshole, you're never gonna have like a great memory regarding to this like beautiful tattoo.
Yeah, that's true. So. That's true. But on the other hand, I can imagine me, I've worked in shops as well, that sometimes the space that you have between the client and yourself can be really relaxing, because where you have to make a drawing or something, it's not always fun if the client is like right here when you're drawing. It's like, oh, this and oh, that. Just like, let me do my thing. Yeah. I will come back to you. Yeah. Then you can tell me what you like or don't like. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's double, no? Yeah. And especially in your home, I think.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
I think it also kind of depends on the clients, because I've had so many clients who were just like really fucking chill. Yeah. Who are just like, oh yeah, I just don't like that part and I'll change it and I don't really mind. But if you have a shitty, well, not a shitty client, but one who's a bit more like difficult, yeah, then it can kind of suck. Yeah. But most of the times I don't really have the problem, to be really honest.
No, I can imagine it as well. Yeah. I worked, the last studio I worked was really small, and I had really fun clients, and sometimes people would bring stuff. So I remember this one time a girl brought like a bottle of port.
Oh, that's cute.
It was fucking cute. So we had like nice drinks after, and it was, it was really, with the whole crew and stuff. So that was really nice. Yeah. So, you both primarily tattoo at home while you're going to a shop now. You said that some clients don't like it very much that you're going to a shop. Is it because they like the intimate feeling of your home, or is it about the money, or what is it?
I mean, I guess probably money also plays a part in it. Of course, like your tattoo prices do have to go up when you're in a shop. You have to pay your fee.
Yeah, of course.
Which my clients are also very understanding too, of course. But I think primarily it's because shops feel a lot less personal. I've had a lot of clients talk about how their experiences at shops, they really feel like they're in a fucking printing press, or just, it's like this little weird industrial environment where a client comes in, you don't really talk to your tattoo artist, you don't even know who this fucking person is, and then they're putting some art on your body, and then you pay them, and then boom, you're out of there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it, especially when but I'm also trying to translate that personalized feeling of a home studio to a tattoo shop. I think it also depends on the tattoo shop, of course.
Yeah.
Dalmatia is just a beautiful,
it's like a big living room.
It's
right?
like a big. It really reminds me also of my own living room. My living room has a lot of personality. I live with like two of my best friends, and so our walls are covered in just like all this weird art, and we have a giant life-size cutout of the Pope and just all sorts of stuff. And so my clients love it because like while they're getting tattooed, they can stare at this weird shit on the wall, and it starts conversations. It's a great conversation breaker or icebreaker.
Yeah. Conversation starter.
Conversation starter. Yeah. And some tattoo shops are very bare-walled, which does look very clean and has like a nice minimalistic aesthetic to it. But I don't know. It's just
it would work better for like a clothing store or something. Yeah.
I don't know. At least what a lot of clients have told me is that they really like that there's stuff to look at and there's stuff to do, because when you're just sitting still for like an hour or several hours, it's nice to have something to look at. You can't move your body.
No.
So I understand that.
Okay.
I do understand that.
And well, if you started tattooing at home, how did you start, like from the bottom? What was it in tattooing that caught you and you thought that I want to do this too and I'm going to do it at home?
To be really honest, I was just a little rebel.
Yeah?
My parents never really liked body modifications, and I turned out like this. But I think from a young age, I personally realized like I really like tattoos, and at one point I was like, I think I can do this myself. Fuck it, I'm just gonna try. And then I did, and it turned out pretty well for a first tattoo. I was like, this will do. And from then on, I just started going with it. And now we're here.
But what were your influences?
Like artists?
Yeah, like artists, like tattoo style. Like, for example, for me, I'm a bit older than you guys are, but when I started seeing tattoos, it was like the anchors and stuff, like old guys had, or like the swallows and stuff, you know? Mm-hmm. And then in the 90s, it was the tribals and stuff like that. And that made me more and more interested in tattoos. So is that the same for you guys, or?
Well, the first time I saw tattoos, it was like those infinity signs.
Okay, yeah.
And I thought, like, at that time, I think I was like 14, 15. I was like, oh, that's cute, but that's it. And then started, I don't know how, but I started seeing more different styles of tattoos, like the traditional. And I was like, I'm just going to try this myself. So I think, like the small, simple, fine lines kind of got me interested because it just really looked like a little sticker on the body. But as I got more into it, I realized like how many fucking cool shit you can do with it. And that really drew me toward it and also to try it. So I think...
Okay, cool. Yeah. And was it the same for you? Was it because you said you had like an art background?
Yeah, no, I actually would say I come from a different end of the spectrum, so to say. Because like I never had intentions on getting tattoos. Not necessarily. I always thought they were like kind of cool or whatever.
On getting tattoos, you mean? Getting
tattoos, or also just interested in tattoos. I never really quite took it seriously. Because of course I have respect for traditional tattoos and, you know, new school tattoos and Japanese traditional. It's all beautiful, beautiful tattoo styles. But it's never been my style. And I've drawn since like the day I was born. Like both of my parents are artists. Like art is the biggest moving influence in my life. And I never took tattooing seriously because I never considered it to be an art form. And when I started tattooing, because my sister wanted a tattoo, but she didn't want to pay for one. Okay. So she convinced my mom to buy me a tattoo machine one year for Christmas. And that's how I started. And so I gave her a tattoo, and I gave a couple of friends tattoos. That's and they're like, oh, I want this, or oh, I want that. And I can fucking draw. And not to sound so cocky, but no, I know I know certain things in this world, and I can't read, but I can draw. Yeah. So you know what? Yeah. I can be cocky every now and then. Yeah. But you know, I did a couple tattoos, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Sure, this is fun. I like doing things for my friends. I get paid like $10 per tattoo. That's fine. And it wasn't until I was allowed to, like, someone was looking through my just like my scribbles, like my sketchbook or something, like not like a tattoo flash or anything, just my sketchbook. And they were like, oh shit, this is fucking cool, like, can you do this? And I was like, wait, I can draw my own style on people as a tattoo. And that was like the game changer. Okay. I was like, holy shit, I can actually do the things that I'm passionate about, be really weird and experimental, and people still want this on their body. So you know what? Shout out to my clients for getting all my weird shit on their bodies. Like, that's crazy to me.
But your mom bought you a tattoo machine so you can tattoo your sister. That was basically the beginning?
That was the beginning.
Okay, but where did you get the knowledge? Because you can, like buying a tattoo machine is one thing. I can imagine it wasn't a real good machine as well.
No, it was like one of these Amazon full kits. Yeah. You know, it costs like $80. Yeah. I mean, it's fine for like 6 months or something when you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Exactly. It's all right.
That's my question though. So you get the machine. Yeah. Yeah. But how do you know what to do? Do you go like on YouTube or something? Because you have to have like a little bit of knowledge about the stretching of the skin and the depth of the needle and stuff like that. So how you just did it and fuck it?
I mean, when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. No. Most people, I mean, I think that's also the difference, is I didn't have the intention of being a tattoo artist. So it wasn't like I practiced on skin or anything. Like, I just went, I didn't practice on like fake skin or something. No. Or like a fruit. I went like straight to skin. Yeah. Like, wow, really, really bless my first canvases. Yeah. They did not get the best tattoo.
No, of course not.
Still pretty reasonable. Yeah.
Is the skin still intact?
The skin is still intact. Okay. The tattoos are all there. Okay. They're really not that awful. Okay. Really, really not that awful. I'm surprised. Especially for someone who had no idea what I was doing. In terms of learning what to do, that really came through meeting other tattoo artists. Okay. I learned a lot through my friend Rico, who is actually a really skilled artist, but he hasn't really been going so in depth in the tattoo scene until recently, and now he's like really exploring his style. It's really cool. But he is very different from me in that respect, where like he actually did the research. I remember we did a trade when we first met, and I was like, "Oh, you use gloves? Like, why would you use gloves? Like, like what's the point?" And now I like look back on this, and I'm like, "You disgusting animal! Yeah. You touched people without gloves. With your bare hands. You touched people with bare hands. Did not you dry wipe them? You had no fucking Vaseline. Like, what were you doing?" Yeah. So. And I think that's also the beautiful fucking thing about tattooing. Of course, yeah. Is tattooing is such a community-based thing. It's such a trade. It's like being a carpenter or a glass blower, or all these beautiful, beautiful trades where it's really about you're an apprentice, or or you learn through meeting other people who do the same thing, and you have these conversations, or you practice on each other. And it's a practice-based learning where,
of course,
you go and you do, and you meet people, and you learn all these crazy little tricks. And
yeah, but this topic seems to return every now and then in the podcast, obviously, because as we talked about earlier, there's a big change going on. And I think I even talked about this with Trobis and Lisa in the very first episode. But the way you talk about it is the way it is, but at the same time, it isn't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because like in the beginning, and I can't say that I really experienced that, but even the guys before me who started tattooing, it was so close. No one would tell you shit.
No.
But it does have some comparison, because even those guys work without gloves and with
crazy,
needles.
right?
They work with a whole week. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's
not
crazy.
changing your needle and tattoo for a whole week with the same
some
needle.
Alcohol, light it under a flame, and they're like, "Oh, that's ready.
That's great."
right.
Yeah, until it goes numb, and then you can't use it anymore.
That's
so
insane.
So the weird thing is that in some similarity, in some way, it's similar, but in the other way, it's like totally open now, because you can look it up. People will do it on YouTube. And you can see it, and you can practice it. So, in other words, you don't need to be an apprentice.
No.
But the way you talk about it is like with the same compassion for the trade, like someone who will talk about it, who is an apprentice in the old school way.
Yeah.
So, is that for you the same way? I mean, when you started to tattooing, did you put on gloves or no gloves?
I think I did a little bit of research on YouTube.
Okay.
I was like, well, YouTube is the best place to find shit about everything.
Everything.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So like I just looked it up on YouTube, and I think I just bought like needles, ink, and alcohol, and I just went for it. And I think I even did it on some friends, and I'm just like, I couldn't. If I see somebody with a needle and without gloves, I already cringe.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh my god, no, disgusting. I can't even look at it.
No.
But yeah, for me, it was also like just doing, and also indeed meeting other artists and getting a lot of tips from them, because I have realized like starting from home, I really love it. I really enjoy it. But there are some things sometimes people just need to tell you to maybe just try it like this.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Which is completely fine, but sometimes things take longer to learn.
Of course.
So for me, like, I didn't know how to stretch skin properly, and then somebody just explained it to me a bit, and I was like, okay, I just need to try it. And it's a lot of, or for me personally, it was a lot of trial and error.
Trial and error, yeah, of course, yeah. And that's the way, because even when you're an apprentice, it's also trial and error. But it could be handy if you have people around you, especially people with more experience.
Yeah.
It will, how do I say this? It'll
also quicken the process.
Yeah,
And it'll also like ensure a lot more security in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, but also no, because I was insecure, like, fuck, like with all those guys around me who can tattoo like really well, and I tattoo like shit. I was like, oh no.
No, I can imagine that must be really intimidating.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously never did an apprenticeship.
No.
I thought about it when I was like first starting, and I was like, oh, maybe I should do an apprenticeship. But then I had this like little epitome or realization, and I was like, no, fuck that. And I grew this like huge hatred for apprenticeships and shop tattoos and just like tattoo shops in general, because I was like, fuck that, you're an apprentice, you're like their little slave, like you don't tattoo skin for like a whole year, you just like buy them coffee and like clean their shit, and you don't know how to draw, you just want to be in the tattoo scene and you don't know any of this shit. And then like with time I became less of a bitter old man, so to say. I was like
the angry white man.
Yeah, I was like a little overly critical, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I do have full respect, of course, for, you know, people who did apprenticeships and people who work in shop. I mean, I'm also now someone that's going to be working in shop. Obviously, I've changed my ways a bit, but I think it's also something that it depends on what your stance is before you start tattooing. And I think it's also a difference on what your intention is, because I think there's a difference between being a tattooer, a tattoo artist, and an artist who tattoos.
Yeah.
And I think depending on what your goal is, and it'll completely change your approach on and whether you want to be an apprentice or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree more. Couldn't agree more. So, with that said, the style that you both practice is a style on its own. And to be very honest, I don't know a lot about that style because obviously social media is the way to discover a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists. And I'm always drawn to new stuff. So I really dig it. But I don't know that much about it. So maybe you can enlighten me and tell me a little bit more about the things that you guys do, where it comes from, where maybe it's like this branch from another style or something. So
well, for me, as a kid I drew a lot, and I think starting high school I had these art classes and they sucked, so I stopped drawing for like years. And it actually, right before I started tattooing, I started drawing again, but I really like developed a style when I was already tattooing. But for me, it's always like when I design something, I always do whatever feels good, and what works for me is quite just put my pen down and see whatever my hand does, and then sometimes something nice comes out of it, and sometimes it sucks, and then I delete it again. So
yeah,
it's really feeling based, I think, for me. Yeah.
For you too? Because, well, you've been drawing also very long, but...
yeah, I mean, I would say it's a partial influence from, the style I've developed throughout my life, and then also kind of a bit of this fine arts approach. Because, I doodle and stuff, and I make these like weird little characters and all these strange little dudes. And that is what I would say is more my like drawing, doodling style, but it's not something I would categorize under my like fine arts approach. I hate that word, but I'm just going to say fine arts.
Yeah, no worries.
And under the fine arts approach, it's more experimental, especially like taking an image, decomposing it, rebuilding it, and just like colliding all these different elements, like seeing what I'm inspired by in the moment, like if it's more about values, if it's more about line work, if it's more about a whole overall concept, if it's more about the composition on the body, if it's more about disregarding all of that, doing things that are like kind of illegal in the tattoo world, or like putting something on the body in a place that seems weird, or a lot of tattoos are meant to be like, okay, well, you put this here, straight in the middle, centered, because you don't want it to move too much. But I love these weird spots. I love these spots where the tattoo will warp and it will move and it will change the way you move your body. And I think that's also where it becomes a bit of a playground, is taking my style, taking what's currently interesting me, what I'm currently inspired by, and like just what I want to. I just have this like compulsive need to like create always at all times. So it's just taking like whatever that focus is at the time
and making it a tattoo,
and then like making it a tattoo.
Okay, but does it have a name? Can I categorize it in a way? Because is it ignorant? Can I call it ignorant, or?
I've thought about this a lot. I mean, in regards to my own style, I've thought about this so much, because I was like, oh yeah, is it ignorant? Is it this and that? But I have no idea. I mean, I've been calling it Krust.
Okay, yeah.
That's my name and that's my style. It's like, and that's also what people ask for. Is like, I don't get clients anymore that ask me for things that aren't my style. I just get people that are like, freehand some crust on me, and that's also what they refer to it as. It's like this weird crusty style.
Okay. So you designed your own name in a way.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of arrogant, but
no.
I guess,
well, if it works for you, but does that mean that you are doing crust as well?
I don't think so, because you have a very specific style, and I don't think I have the same elements that you have in your style. But also I have no clue what to
call it.
Yeah, because people just ask me for something and I just design it in the way, and whatever feels good. Sometimes I like to call it abstract because sometimes you can't really see what it is when you look at it very quickly. But no clue, to be really honest.
But so we could say this is quite of a new style, right?
I would say so.
Yeah, you would say so, right?
Yeah.
So, but how do you think about what the tattoo will do within like 10, 20, 30, 40 years? Because the traditional tattoo was built in a way so that even if you're like 40 years later, you could still see what it is. Yeah. Usually will be a little bit more shitty because the skin will change and stuff. But like the bold, bold will hold. The bold line, black, and maybe one or two colors. So with that in mind, how do you approach your own tattoos? Like, because if it's art, it doesn't really necessarily have to have the rules of tattooing to be applied, but you do have a skin.
Yeah.
So a skin is changing.
Of course.
So how do you work with that?
I think, of course, it depends on the tattoo of in question. But I always keep it in mind as well, like how a tattoo will age. But also, I think this is part of like the breaking these tattoo rules or these illegal tattoos, illegal tattoo approaches where I primarily work with like really skinny lines, which is completely illegal in the traditional sense of tattooing because bold will hold and it'll just slowly blow out over time or whatever. And but I also think that's a very beautiful element of tattoos is the way they age over time, the way these like skinny tattoos they can be very fickle almost, and they have so much unique specific character and they age in a very unique way, but then there's also certain elements of it like the way you approach shading or the way you approach line work where the shading will fall out faster than the line work will fall out, and then you just work with like these negative spaces as well, and so the way I approach it is more focused on the overall like shape of the tattoo, the presence it brings, and like tattooing knowing that certain things will fall out over the years or will blur out, or as a tattoo does, it is ink like just waiting, like just sitting
to go
in your
somewhere
skin.
Or to vanish
but I guess this is one, like because we're in the middle of like a tattoo revolution, so to say.
That's like, what I want to talk about.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. It's so cool.
It's really cool.
It's so cool. I was in France on I was doing like a little guest spot and mostly trading. I was doing a lot of trades. I was at this tattoo squat, and it was a beautiful experience because it just so happened to be like I think like 5 or 6 other tattoo artists that I absolutely adore. They're also like experimenting with these newer styles of tattooing where it's quite abstract and it's quite shading based and it's quite ignorant and it's all this crazy stuff. And to be in a room with like all these artists that are doing all these crazy things that I've been like looking at on social media and then to randomly run into them, really inspirational, but really makes me curious, like, because these are tattoos that have only been around over like maybe the past 10 years it's been developing.
Yeah, tops.
Maybe even probably less, like 5 years so. Really.
Yeah.
So I think it's really one of those things where we just don't know yet.
No. But
only time will tell.
Do you also, because you are in the middle of the revolution, as you call it.
It's a terrible.
No. Let's keep it in there. But do you also come upon like the negative side of it? Do you get like critique for it?
For sure.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I still think this is a very like manly industry, and also what I've experienced from for example, tattooing from home is that some people don't take you as seriously if you were to be tattooing in a shop. But I think, tattooing from home is still kind of new to the main public.
Yeah.
So I think it's also something people have to kind of get used to and get more familiar with. Because I do get clients that I can tell by the way they're talking or by their, how do you say it? Their
approach.
Their approach, that they sometimes don't take me as seriously as artists in a shop. And I don't really mind it because, I also don't really care.
Yeah, okay.
But also, like, they're not as familiar with the industry as I am. So, I think it's something that people need to be kind of exposed to more.
Yeah, but you're talking about the client now, right?
Yeah.
I'm more curious, do you guys experience negativity, not from the clients, but from the industry, say?
Yeah. I mean, I would say actually clients are, at least from my experience, clients are less of the problem. I mean, in Rotterdam, or in Holland, maybe it's a little less different. Holland is still very traditionally based, very shop based. There's not that many home tattoo artists. In Berlin, per se, where I come from, most tattoo artists, or like a lot of these tattoo artists in this, this tattoo revolution, most of them work from home. Like, I don't know that many tattoo artists that actually work in shops. Like, all these really fucking impressive tattoo artists are, their own individuals. I think the bigger part of the issue being one of these artists that are, working against the traditional style is there's a huge, like, I don't know, gatekeeping vibe, gatekeeping energy. A lot of traditional artists really don't respect people who are self-taught. A lot of traditional artists don't respect people who didn't do an apprenticeship. And I understand that because I can imagine I would also be pissed if I spent 3-4 years of my life being a fucking slave, wiping the ass of like these artists and having them tell me to like draw 50 roses every day just so that I can make tattoos that look exactly like theirs, just so I can like do like the same amount of work but take even longer to get there and work in these like mediocre shops that are all like copy printed from each other. And then these people come out of nowhere and start from nothing and teach themselves everything
and do their own shit like all day long,
do their own shit and become even more successful than you. I can really imagine that would make you doubt yourself and question your approach for it. I can understand where that's coming from, but it's also so upsetting not to be taken seriously by other artists.
Yeah, I understand, but I think I believe that they brought it on to themselves in a way, because it was really hard to get an apprenticeship, a good apprenticeship. Yeah. So,
sure.
But to be honest, like the other side of the medallion, let's say, is that those people who are drawing like 50 roses a day are like preserving this history.
Yeah.
They really want this history to forever stay.
Which is beautiful as well.
It is beautiful.
And
it is beautiful.
I think that's also what I was talking about earlier with like, it's a different approach.
Yeah.
Like, what type of, do you want to be, like, I would consider myself more an artist who tattoos rather than a tattooer. And I think these people who do apprenticeships are like tattoo artists who are trying to preserve something very specific, who are a very specific target audience, who want a very specific scene. And I have nothing but respect for that, because God knows I would not have the patience for someone to tell me how to draw when I know how to draw, and I wouldn't want someone to tell me how to do something in a very specific way like that. Maybe I'm just an asshole, but that's just my personal
You wouldn't
approach.
be the only asshole in tattooing, so.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of room for assholes.
Yeah, there is.
It's just a big asshole fest. But there's some good people in
there are a lot of
mix.
good people, and I think that here comes the word again, the revolution. It creates space for those who want to take part of it, right? And no one can tell you to do it this way or this way, and you have a very strong opinion about it, and really believe in as I hear it now, really believe in yourself and in the way you do it. You too, but I mean, like, as far as you said about the apprenticeships and stuff. So for me, that's really cool to hear, because that is a way that some barriers will be broken.
Yeah. But
with the respect for the old way, the people who paved the way.
For sure. Yeah. And I think that's very important as well. There's a lot of history behind tattooing.
There is. Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. It's probably the oldest. It's the oldest art form known to man. Like, as soon as a human learned how to walk on two legs, we were fucking modifying our bodies. It's insane what humans have been up to, and that we have this like compulsive need to mark our bodies. We have this compulsive need to identify ourselves, and to carry on this tradition and this knowledge and this sense of group, you know, and that's how tattooing started, you know, is to like mark your tribe, or to be rectified as a higher member of a group of people. And it's translated through the years in a bit of an obscured way, or it's definitely changed a lot. But it's always important to remember like where it came from.
Yeah, of course. And it's good for your own growth as well. But so there is some negativity, but how do you cope with that?
For me, it's like when there is negativity, I do tend to get like insecure a lot, but also for me it's just focusing on what I like to do. So I try to not pay too much mind to it, and also I have a great group of people around me that are just like, but you can do this shit.
Really supportive.
Yeah, so great. That's really great to have. But like for example with social media, I do tend to, for example, like compare myself a lot, but I try to do that less and less, because it's not going to help me in any type of way.
No, it just works against you.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I'm not going to pay it any mind. It's fine. Like, I'm just going to try to better myself in everything I do, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah. But do you want to like B, do you want to work at a studio as well in the future, or do you see it for yourself always being in a home space tattooing?
To be really honest, I don't know.
You don't know yet?
I don't know yet, because I have been in studio environments where I have tattooed and I really liked it. But I'm just going to see what the future brings. I'll just see whatever happens, because for now I'm still cool at home. Like being able to kind of decide what kind of intimate space it's going to be, you know, like that's really nice to me. And also that's what a lot of my clients have been saying, like, I really enjoy this, like you have a nice space, I feel a lot more at home, so that's cool to me. But I would also just be down to tattoo at a studio if the opportunity is there. That would be really cool. So one thing I noticed as well is that both of you use your Instagram in a way that's also pretty new for me. Like it's not only a photo. You tend to make like a piece of art of the photo to present it. And not only you two. I see it with a lot of more people who tattoo the same type of style or something, you know. So maybe that's within the wave. That's something that's also as important as the tattoo itself, or no? I think so. Yeah.
I think it depends.
Okay.
I think it's different for different people. So I obviously can't speak on behalf of all tattoo artists.
Of course, no.
I am not the holy grail of tattooing. I don't know everything. I can't speak for everyone. But at least for myself, the reason I do that is because tattooing isn't really my end game. I just see it as another medium I can do my art in. And for me, you know, although I do adore tattooing and I get so much passion from it and I have so much fun with it and I just love experimenting with skin, at the end of the day, even though the tattoo is an art piece in itself, also playing with how I present it is is also about it. It's like this whole entire vibe or energy around my tattoo style and what I want to bring into this world with my art. That sounds so lame. It's so fucking lame.
We can make a towel if you want. Like, put it on the wall.
What I want to bring into the world with my art.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I mean, for me, the reason I do these like weird, funky edits is because
you know what I mean, right? Like
I want to go further than that. But I think some people also do weird, funky edits to like, kind of like make up for the lack of tattoo or like to like hide certain things.
Okay.
Or I think it also like can be more of it like grasp people's attention more. Like if they don't think the tattoo will grasp enough attention, that you know, making this funky edit will grasp attention.
Yeah.
I think some people do just have fun with it. You know, Procreate is a cool Photoshop.
It's a hell of a tool.
It's a hell of a tool. It's a hell of a tool.
Yeah. But I think if I refer to myself, if I would like post a picture of a tattoo I did, it will get way less likes. Not that it's about the likes, but to state that it gets less attention. So when you edit it, it's
really
something nice.
With aesthetic,
Right, yeah. It's really nice to look at. So and I saw that in the new wave that happens a lot. So I was wondering if it's something that's that how do I say this right? That if you start tattooing now and you're part of the new wave, that it comes with the package, you know what I mean?
Social media.
Yeah, the social media as well. It's that's what I mean. It's like it's so important because I guess that's the way you get like most of your customers, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, I think I actually started doing the edits because I also wanted to experiment with it, but I also can't take good pictures of my tattoo.
Nobody can.
No, so I edited a bit and then I post like, you can like make a collage or something and I post a real one, but like that one just looks really shitty quality wise, like the photo itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started to notice when people talk about my tattoos or just tattooing in general, like, oh yeah, I saw this picture because you have this specific editing style with it, so people do recognize it, and I think it's quite cool because I'm not that artsy, to be really honest, but like editing my pictures is for me also a way to like see what else I can do with the tools that I have.
Well, I can imagine that the type of people that want to get tattooed by you guys, immediately when they see something like that, they have the feeling that is a part of them, or that it's something they want to be a part of. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that works really well.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good way of you know, bringing your audience in.
Yeah.
I mean, and I would say for like my following, or more like my clients rather than my following.
Yeah.
I would say like, you know, my clients do become my homies. Like it is like this cute little family. Like I appreciate and love every single one of my fucking clients, even the stubborn ones.
Yeah.
or actually the people who don't really recognize my art as art, I don't really love that much.
No.
No, because I'm not a printer.
No.
I'm not gonna do your Pinterest tattoo. I'm sorry. Like I respect the artists that do that.
Yeah, of course.
But it kind of just breaks my heart. So I do just fucking adore and love every single one of my clients that just like allows me to do my art and express myself. And I think also like through these edits or through this presentation style, they get. It's also, I think it's a really good way of getting an insight on who the artist behind the tattoos is. I think often, you know, I mean, some tattoo artists also post a lot of selfies or pictures of themselves on their account. I mean, I don't. But I think my edits also is a really kind of more obscure way of getting a personal connection with my clients.
Yeah.
Because then they do see like what are my aesthetics, or also like a lot of tattoos or weird edits I do are like inspired by just like weird, obscure memes or images I find on Instagram that are just like images that captivate me.
Yeah.
And I think that also draws people in is this like this commonality. So I think it's like a kind of an obscure way to get to know someone. It's like, oh, like this is the media you're into, or oh, this is like the visual stimuli that excites you.
Is that even more than the tattoo itself then? That was a fucking good question.
It was a really fucking good question. Got me thinking for the first time in days. I think in different ways. But I think it adds to it.
Yeah.
But possibly.
Epiphany.
No, sorry, I also got distracted by some guy outside who was filming us.
Oh, too bad. I thought it was my question.
He's gonna have a really good Instagram story today, though.
Yeah?
Honestly. I hope he's happy.
Oh, great.
No, but I think also like the edits does it can be almost more intimate, or not more intimate than like your tattoo style is.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
But I think it is an interesting way of.
For me,
I lost my thoughts. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. For me, like my mind is blown. I'm really curious on what is coming next, because I was listening to a podcast like a couple of weeks ago, and there was a tattooer from LA. His name is Tim Hendricks. I don't know if you guys know him, but he was telling how he had to get his work around in the 90s. So there was pre-digital camera. There was with the old school camera, and he had to like take one roll of a tattoo he did, let them develop and hope that there was like a good picture.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then when he developed it, he would like get copies of that one good picture, like 10 or 20 copies, and then send the photos to like tattoo magazines.
Yeah, I could never like be able.
You cannot imagine,
no.
right? No, and then he told in the same podcast that the digital camera era came, but that's not the phone, right? That was like
the proper camera.
Exactly. So then you had a problem with pixels and stuff like that. So the picture, the quality of the picture. So he said in that podcast that for him to be in an era now when the tattoo is finished, he can take a good picture.
In a matter of seconds.
Upload it into the entire world, and it's there.
In a matter of seconds?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I'm so excited and so curious in what's next, you know?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. I think about it sometimes, and I feel like a little kid on Christmas, because I just sit there and I'm like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Like, it's fucking amazing where the tattoo world is going. The tattoo industry is a beautiful fucking thing, and it's just blossoming right now.
Yeah.
And especially in a time when tattoos are also becoming more socially
acceptable.
More socially acceptable, and
but the same for the stuff where we work with, like the machines.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Also, like the accessibility to machines. I mean, that's also so cool. I love reading into like traditional tattoo artists, or just like the history of tattoo artistry. How, because that's also something I really want to do, is like among the long list of activities and projects I want to do, is like I really want to build machines out of like weird scraps. And I've seen artists that do it out of like pens and toy cars, and I would like, it would be so cool to have like a fucking baby doll tattoo gun, and they weld their own tattoo
coils.
Needles, and they make their own ink, and they make tattoo coil machines from scratch. And
did you see the guy who made tattoos out of Lego?
Yeah, crazy
Have you seen it?
shit.
It's crazy.
They make shit from everything. Like, it's crazy to me.
But he makes like these Lego tattoo machines.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and they're like proper legit. I think they're with coal, right? Or are they rotary? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they're rotary.
Yeah.
I mean, most of these, or at least from my memory, a lot of these kind of like prison style,
they're
self-made tattoo guns. They're all rotary.
Yeah.
Because that's also something I've looked into a lot, is like how, because prison style tattoos, huge thing, right? How the fuck do you get a tattoo in prison? You can't get most things in prison, but still some people find a way to make a tattoo machine and needles and ink.
Yeah. Do you know how?
I've looked into a little bit. Like it's crazy with ink. If I remember
ash and
correctly,
spit or ash and urine.
It's ash, and then you burn, you color in a piece of paper full with marker, and then you burn it with a candle, and you catch the smoke with a metal plate, and then the burnt paper with the ink mixed with the humidity of the
the black. Stuff.
The humidity of the candle wax, then you scrape it together, and you can mix it with spit, or sometimes it's enough. And then tattoo machines are actually relatively easy to make. You really just need 4 parts. You just need a battery system,
plastic of a pen,
and a plastic of a pen. Exactly. You can really make a rotary machine in a matter of 30 minutes if you're really dedicated. But it's crazy because in prison they collect these items. They collect these small parts to make a machine over a couple weeks or something. It's not you have full access to everything right away. You're just slowly collecting these bits to make a machine.
So one of your goals is to make machines. In a way.
In a way.
Yeah, in a
just
way.
because I'm just interested in it, the machinery of it.
Exactly.
I think it's fascinating.
Would be nice if you can manufacture it yourself, and it does work as well. I'm not gonna do it because I'm not that handy, but it sounds cool. But what are more future goals within tattooing or outside of tattooing?
Well, for me, I think it's really developing my own shit. I also, for example, I like fashion. I don't think I'm that fashionable, to be really honest, but I like it. Or jewelry I really like, so I would like to do something with that. But I'll just see whatever happens, man, because right now I do think I still have a lot of shit to learn
within tattooing. Of course, you're not ready. Oh, you're not done yet.
No, I'm for sure not done yet. And what I also think is really cool is I see a lot of artists drawing from different types of industries. So fashion takes a lot of inspiration from tattooing, or jewelry takes a lot of inspiration from fashion, and that's it's a bit multidisciplinary, and I think I would like to do something like that, but
combine it maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I have some friends who have all the time they have this cool ass jewelry, and I'm just thinking to myself wow, it would be really nice if I could also make something like that. So might pick that up sooner or later.
Okay, cool. And for you, when you're done with the tattoo machines, when are you gonna do that?
Well, I've kind of thought about this a lot. I have a loose life journey planned. That sounds so lame. I'm just saying lots of lame stuff tonight.
No.
But for me, tattooing is kind of just the beginning of it. I started out as a painter. That was why I joined art school or got into art school. That was also my huge focus throughout my teenage years. And I started out as a painter, but both of my parents are artists, and it's really, really difficult to make a living off of your art. I've been deeply involved, or not involved, but exposed to the art industry my entire life, and I see firsthand the heartbreak of being a failed artist and how difficult it can be to, sell your work. And when I started tattooing, tattoos are really approachable. Tattoos are really approachable, and it's a really good way to get your work out there. There's 1,000 million painters, but to become famous as a painter, or to become famous as a sculptor or a musician or anything is quite difficult. And tattoos, although I love doing tattoos and it's a beautiful journey, it's also more about building an audience that is interested in my style and my creative expression and the path I take with it. And so over the years, I'm definitely going to be doing less and less tattoos. The more my other work kind of also becomes more self-sustaining.
Yeah.
So I want to.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, it's just to be a fucking creative, man.
Yeah.
Like,
but do you believe? Sorry that I'm interrupting, but this is. Right. I think this is really, especially for me as well. I've been making music and playing music since I was a little kid, and I did tattooing as well. But as you said, it can be really difficult to live off your creativity.
Yeah.
So how do you guys see it in terms of working like for 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and do your creativity next to it? Is that a way that you could do it as well, or for you guys it's like it's all or nothing?
I've did that for a little bit. I used to work in a restaurant, and then on the side I would be tattooing just so I could make a living and pay my rent and stuff. Now I go to school like 4 days a week, but I do realize like it's very fucking tough.
Yeah.
But also like a few weeks ago I was tattooing 4 days in a week, and that was also very fucking tough. So I just think it's gonna be rough, man.
Okay.
But yeah, I did when I was tattooing 4 days a week, I got a lot more enjoyment out of it than working in a restaurant 4 days a week and then tattooing on the side. So for me personally,
so if there's like a period where you have less money, you will take it because you will be doing what you love.
Well, that kind of sounds like a sellout, but no, if I really like needed the money, I will take up another like restaurant job so I can pay my rent and shit. But as long as it's going fine, I really enjoy being able to make money with being creative and stuff. And
good for you.
Yeah,
great.
It's really cool.
Is that the same for you, or it's like all in?
Yeah, man, I'm all or nothing.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't worked like a normal job since, I'd say like September 2020.
Okay.
And I was like fired because of the whole COVID situation, and I was doing tattooing on the side at the time. And then when I got fired, tattooing kind of just accidentally became my full time. So I also I accidentally learned how to tattoo, and I accidentally became a tattoo artist, but now I'm so fucking happy.
Yeah.
And like, I do kind of miss these like horeca type jobs, you know. I do kind of miss working in a bar or a restaurant, and maybe I kind of think, I think I have a little bit of a fucked up impression on it, because I think a lot of people who work in like bars and stuff, they're like, okay, I'm gonna work at a bar 5 days a week, and then on Saturdays I'm gonna do tattooing. And for me, I'm like, I do my creative shit every single fucking day, but like
on Saturday,
I think on Saturday I'm gonna work in a bar just to like shake things up, just to have like a different environment, just to have like this brainless fucking environment where I can just like go in and put on a fake smile and have these stupid conversations with old white people that have no idea what they're talking about and have convinced themselves they're happy.
Yeah.
But otherwise, for me, it's all or nothing, man. Like, I think the way I plan to do it, or the way I am doing it and want to continue developing it, is, you know, I tattoo like twice a week or something, and then, you know, Mondays I do painting, or Tuesdays I do like every day of the week. It's like, oh, well, today what do I feel like doing? I feel like making fucking carpets, and I'll make carpets and upload it to my website, and, you know, what sells and what doesn't. And if I'm broke for a while, that's fucking fine. I have no problem living off of nothing and pursuing my dreams, rather than, you know, like bending over backwards for a job that I don't care about, that won't really bring me anywhere. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I'm here for the journey. I'm here for the excitement of finding out if it'll work.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
This was it already.
All right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. It was a really fun conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
And well, hope to see you guys soon.
For sure.
Okay.